Aaron, hey, welcome to Membership Maker.
Thanks, Ward. Excited to be here. Excited to have a nice chat with you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's just kick things off. Let folks know, who are you and what is the membership business that we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, I'm Aaron De Jong. I am the founder, owner, operator, head trainer at a studio in Vancouver called Movement 108. It was an in-person studio for 6.5 years, and then this year we flipped it over into an on-demand membership platform where we film our classes or our workouts and we post them for our members, and that lives in our membership space.
And give folks an idea roughly how large was the in-person studio, like in terms of customers or clients you had coming in a weekly basis or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it fluctuated. I started super small, and then we went into a bigger space. Our space was 2,000 square feet. We had a second space and still have a second space where we do our filming, which is another 1,500 square feet. So at our peak, we had 12 trainers. We had like 2,500 people through a month. That's 2,500 visits, probably about 800 unique people. Our class sizes were anywhere from 3 to 15 people, and we had 7 classes a day throughout the week. And then we specialized in personal training as well. So it was a pretty robust community. It was a really fun space, and and then converting that over into something more digital focused. It's quite a trip.
How did you make a website that was, in your words, completely hands off? So, first of all, what does that mean, hands off? And when you say making a website, was this something you did all by yourself, or did someone else help you with this?
No, I would say that I have a fairly uh, okay brain when it comes to technical aspects. I'm the founder of an app. I was telling you just about just before we started recording. So the reason that's important is I love talking about like technical and figuring out how to build stuff, but I don't know how to do any of that, right? So traditionally in the past, I've managed and built out Squarespace websites, but that's all very user friendly functionality, but it limits you in what you're able to do on your site if you're building out alone. So with my other company, Mover, we had contracted a web developer and designer to build out our website. This was 2 years ago. She did a great job. She was a very clear, good communicator. And I just called her up this summer. I was like, "Hey, are you free?" And she said, she had some availability in September. So we chatted for about 45 minutes. I told her exactly what I wanted. It was like, you know, we're totally rebranding, we're shifting, we're looking at how we change the view and the experience of Movement 108 from a in-person to online platform, how we want the videos to live. Very simple to use for people coming in to sign in to access them and categorize them. And she'd never built an exercise related, uh, website. And she was just like, "I'm not going to say yes, but I'm going to go do a bunch of research and I'm going to come back with plugins, with the website builder that I think we should use." And she came back like 2 days later and she was so fired up. She was like, "Hey, I think we could do something really cool here." And my whole goal from the get-go was I would like to make it so there's very little work that I need to do once it's up and running. So it's like basically just upload the video, then everyone has access. It's good to go. Because really, I was managing, the Dropbox links, the emails, try to match who's got access to the Dropbox to their payment dashboard. Some people would like stop paying, and I wouldn't be able to close off the link to them. Like there was just so many aspects that I couldn't control, and was having to do so much email work that it wasn't like less work for me. It was actually a lot more than when I was in the studio.
Right. And so what did this developer you're working with, designer you're working with, what did she end up recommending in terms of like the tools to use to launch this?
Yeah, she came back and she looked at, I mean, we had built our other website on WordPress, so she's very familiar with that. So we went over to WordPress, which has a lot more functionality. It's a little less user friendly if you're sort of like a layman's person like me, than maybe a Squarespace. But she set up a really nice template. We got some new colors. A friend of mine came and did some photos for us that were really beautiful. And then she just said plugins, like we decided to use Vimeo over YouTube because it was way more user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at MemberSpace. We looked at another platform called Memberful, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, yeah, like in looking at all this, and we looked at ConvertKit and MailChimp, and we just kind of had like all the sort of main competitors, and we chose the ones that were simplest for me to understand. And that's how we went. So it was like, there's like, here's a list of functionality, and then can Aaron do this without web developers' help hand holding the rest of my life? And that's where we came to obviously MemberSpace, and then some of the other plugins that we decided to go with.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you mentioned that, because that's like, we've done like a product market fit survey for MemberSpace, and it was like, that's like the number one thing is like ease of use. And not to say it, we have a lot of things we could still make even easier, but like that's kind of our big focus, and it's good to hear like that's what resonated with you. But sorry if you had something to add in there.
Well, I was just gonna say it's totally true, man. Like I go onto the website now, and I love how simple it is. There's like 4 buttons for me to click into, and obviously you expand. You can go down portals of offerings and things that you guys have done, but it's been super pleasant to be working with. And like, I sometimes, I can go and create a cheeky coupon code, which I know sounds basic and easy, but it's actually super valuable for me to go do that and then offer it to somebody. Like I said, it's made managing the website and the business super hands-off experience for myself, while people are still enjoying the product.
Yeah, no, I think that's key, because it's like, at the end of the day, like you were saying, you had your duct tape together solution with Dropbox, right? And you still had people coming to you. So what does that say?
Yeah.
You weren't successful because you're on MemberSpace now. You were successful because your content's good, and you obviously have a good network, you have a community and an audience and that kind of thing. So the platform can certainly help or hinder you, and certainly it can help you grow. But the core of what's going to make you successful is not which platform you choose, right? It's the content you're providing, how you're offering it, what your pricing is, if you're listening to your customers, which it sounds like you're doing all that stuff. And so that's really great to hear that all kind of came together for you, though.
Yeah, I think like without trying to plug MemberSpace, because what you said is so true. I'm sure that I could have gone to another plugin or platform and got to know it and used it really efficiently and well. But I think ultimately, we only have a finite amount of time. I only have a finite amount of time and energy that I wanted to, continue giving to this sort of like online, I didn't want to be emailing out Dropbox links for the rest of my life.
Right.
So once we set this up and I was able to learn really quickly how to use the platform, it allowed me to focus on other things, which was business growth, right? Which is, connecting with community members. It's not needing to go in and make sure everyone's got the links or like listening to people, email and be like, where's my video, or how do I get access, or how do I get behind the paywall, all that stuff. So it did allow me to focus my energy and efforts elsewhere, which ultimately served the business, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the goal of like any platform. It's like, just get out of the way and let them run their business as easily as possible. It's like, it sounds so simple and obvious, but it's like most software doesn't do that. It's just like the business owner doesn't care about the software. They want to solve the business problem. Make it as easy as you can for them.
Well, and like typically complex problems have very simple solves. That's when they can be used, exponentially. And I think that it sounds so simple to be like, yeah, a wall, and behind the wall lives our content. But I'm like, but how do we build that? And fortunately, we came across your platform, and that's been provided so seamlessly.
Cool, Aaron. So yeah, I think that's really great stuff. Why don't we wrap up here a little bit? And if you could just share your website and anything else you want to kind of plug, any social media or anything like that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, to check out the platform, obviously, head to movement108.com. It's pretty self-explanatory. We try to make it as simple as possible. You can learn a lot about what's special about the workouts, the balanced offering that you get every week in terms of mobility, some strength, some body weight stuff, some kettlebell workouts. Social media is the same. On Instagram, Movement108, we do every so often Instagram live workouts. You can kind of get to know conversationally the trainers, myself, and the other trainers I work with. And then I've got another project to check out, the Mover app, MOVR, in the App Store. That's, again, a different offering, but something I'm super passionate about. So lots of ways you can find me and move your bodies with me.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron. That's great stuff. I hope everybody checks that out.
Thanks very much for the time, Ward. Appreciate it.